Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing today? Welcome back to another episode reaction to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is Haarute, my name is Matt, hello. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get through this intro quickly. So last time in Buffy, what happened? We got Consequences. We got an episode that was very Faith-centered. We followed other characters other than Faith, but Faith was the main point of conflict of the episode. I already talk at length last week about Faith, so go back and watch my previous video if you want to hear my thoughts on Faith as a character. I did like a full character analysis for like half an hour on Faith. At the end of the episode, Faith went to Mayor and they seem to be working together, or they're gonna start working together. I have suspicions as to what that might be, so we're gonna see how that develops moving forward. I have been asking people, what do I do with Angel the show? I made like a community poll on YouTube so people could tell me. I made another poll on Patreon so we could try and figure out how people feel. And it seems like y'all can't come to a conclusion because it's almost like a 50-50. It's like a 60-40 between, yeah, watch all of Angel, I don't care if we delay Buffy for it. And then there's other people that are just like, I don't give a fuck about Angel, don't delay Buffy. I want to watch you watch Buffy. So yeah, y'all people just fight each other over that. I don't know what I'm gonna do. This is gonna be difficult whenever Angel is a thing that I have to worry about, which I think it's going to be in a couple weeks, so I don't know what I'm going to do. If you want to leave a comment on this topic, do so, or in the description below. I'm probably going to make another video where I'm just going to say, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to hear your thoughts, but yeah, just let me know in the comments for this very video already. Okay, let us begin. By the way, it's been raining for like 2 days now. It's incredibly humid. My hair looks like shit, just so you know. Okay, let us begin. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 3, Episode 16. Let's go.
On Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
You killed a man. I don't care.
She's taken a life. She's got a taste for it now.
Guess that means you have a job opening.
That's framing.
Anyanka. She's a
oh, this matters? This episode matters?
It will undo the wish.
It did?
Rendering Anyanka mortal and powerless.
Is she a character that's gonna come back?
Your powers were a gift of the lower beings. You have proved unworthy of them.
I did not think this character would come back.
I was feared and worshipped across the mortal globe, and now I'm stuck at Sunnydale High. And I'm flunking math.
This is no.
And if you won't help me, then by the pestilent gods, I will find someone who will.
Okay. Damn, you're getting good at this.
It's all about emotional control. Plus, obviously, magic. How come the sudden calisthenics? Aren't you sort of naturally buff? Buff.
Well, they've got us running around on the physical side. I know Faith's not going to be on the cover of Sanity Fair, but she had it rough. Look, I'm sorry. I know how you hate talking about Faith.
No, it's okay.
No, really, we should just...
No, it doesn't bother me.
Depends who explodes. Yeah.
Oh.
Emotional control.
I'm working on it.
So what is Anyanka gonna do with Willow? I hope Anya just becomes friends with everybody and we just have the friendly neighborhood used to be a god character just chilling. That'd be nice.
This is a marriage made in heaven. It's the pinnacle of academic achievement at Sunnydale High.
What are we doing?
Fast break and 50% from behind the three-point line. It's a perfect match.
Match? You want us to breed?
Percy is flunking history. We need a winning year, especially after last year's debacle with the swim team. Can't have our point guard benched.
I just hate the way he bullies people.
Is Amy gonna be a part of this episode? Amy the rat? This feels like a Willow episode.
I'm on board here. Shoot my mouth off. I better change.
Good luck.
Aw.
I'm trying to access the mayor's personal files. Eventually, I'll get through.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I thought so too. Are you serious about this place?
Of course I am. No Slayer of mine's gonna live in a flea bag hotel.
Thanks, Sugar Daddy.
Now, Faith, I don't find that sort of thing amusing. I'm a family man. Now, let's kill your little friend. Not this early in the relationship. Besides, I think a vampire attack would look less suspicious anyway. In the meantime, let's take a look at the rest of the apartment, huh? If I'm not mistaken, some lucky girl has herself a PlayStation.
No way.
Yes way.
The Metal Gear Solid 1 came out yet?
Maybe I would have liked to go.
Didn't figure you for missing school.
You think I'm boring?
I'd call that a radical interpretation of the text.
Yeah, Snyder said you were gonna do it.
He never said that. Meet me at lunch and...
No, I don't have any time at lunch. I gotta hang out.
Well,
What? You got something better to do?
All right. What are we
I'm eating
doing?
this now. It's not lunchtime. I don't even care.
Did you remember to tape biography last Friday?
Uh-huh.
See, I told you. Old reliable.
Oh, thanks. It's fine. I'm old reliable.
She just means, you know, the geyser. You're like a geyser of fun that goes off at regular intervals.
That's Old Faithful.
Isn't that the dog that the guy had to shoot?
That's Old Yeller.
Xander, I beg you not to help me.
Maybe I'm not just some doormat person, homework gal. And I'm eating this banana. Lunchtime be damned.
Really sorry.
I'm storming off. It doesn't really work if you come with me.
I'm doing a thing here. I would like it if you respected my choices. Willow has had enough.
I have this little project I'm working on, and I heard you were the person to ask if...
Yeah, that's me. Reliable dog geyser person.
Nothing big, just a little spell I'm working on.
A spell?
Okay, I can do that.
I like the black arts.
God damn it, what are we doing today? We're gonna unleash all of the characters from the Black Buffyverse into the real Buffyverse. I mean, I don't think anyone's alive in the Dark Buffyverse. The Master could come back. He lived. I would love that. I don't know, I'm just cooking up some fanfiction in my head. Maybe we're gonna get Dark Willow, because that's what she wants. I don't know. I mean, this is not a genie. I mean, she kind of was a genie before. Yeah, she sees the Dark Timeline. It fell on her hand. Ooh, Dark Willow disappeared. They wish summon Dark Willow into a reality. Like, I think the spell to try to do was to summon something from a different location and point in time. And they wanted to do that with the necklace. But instead, they teleported Dark Willow. Yes! Yes! We get Dark Willow. I would have preferred if it was the Master, but I'll take Dark Willow. It's gonna be a fun one-episode antagonist. She could stick around. That would be fun. People are happy. How could this be?
Rosenberg? What are you doing, trick-or-treating? Flunked that class, you're in big trouble with Snyder. Till we graduate, I own your ass.
Yep.
What's going on? Is there a funny thing? Stay the hell away from her. Okay, sure.
Oh, this Willow liked Xander. Yeah, I remember there were a couple.
Hands in new places.
You're alive.
Yeah. You're alive. Oh, I don't like this one.
Aren't you gonna introduce me to your holy god, your Willow?
You.
You know what? I like the look.
She's trying to be supportive.
I don't like you.
Aww.
You really didn't have to prove anything.
Leaving now.
Will, gotta say, not loving the new you.
Get off me!
Yeah. Okay, they know that now. But they think that she got turned into a vampire instead of there being two Willows. Only I know that.
Supposed to talk to strangers.
Oof.
And we won't talk.
Who do you work for?
Oh!
I'm not telling you a thing.
She's gonna start torturing until they do.
Who do you work for?
Wilkins, the mayor.
Only one finger, man?
Who do you work for?
You.
Okay. That's what we're doing.
We're gonna make it the way it was.
Alright.
Starting with the Bronx.
Well, they think Willow is fucking dead. So they must be pretty bummed out.
What is it?
This isn't real.
I can't feel anything. Arms, legs, anything.
She was truly finest of all of us.
Way better than me.
Much, much better.
She never would have done if I hadn't called her reliable. And now my best friend is...
What's going on?
Jeez, who died?
Back! Get back, demon!
You're alive.
Aren't I usually?
Oh!
Oh! Giles, what's going on with these... Oh!
I like that. I like that a lot.
You all didn't happen to do a bunch of drugs, did you?
Giles planning on jumping in with an explanation anytime soon?
Something, very strange is happening.
Thank you for your contribution.
Can you believe the Watchers Council let this guy go?
Okay, that was a good scene. I like that one. It was emotional, it was funny, it was endearing, it was many things.
ID.
I'm 1,120 years old. Just give me a freaking beer.
Out. Bunch of vampires with Willow. Well, Angel's here, so we got one fighter. Yeah, Willow shows up. Dark Willow.
Get Buffy. Do it now.
I'm glad that Oz was immediately able to tell that something happened. Something's going on.
What's your name?
Sandy?
Food. That's your name. You're Food now.
Willow,
Okay.
you don't want to do this. Who did this to you?
I know you. You're a white hat. How come you're talking to me like we're friends?
Because he thinks you're someone else. You know this isn't your world, right? I mean, you know you don't belong here. You want to get back there. So do I.
Ooh.
That's exactly you, Will. Every detail. Except for you're not being a dominatrix.
Yeah, that.
As
That was
far as
the
we know.
difference.
Me and Oz play Mistress of Pain every night.
Joe.
Buffy, something's happened that.
He doesn't know how to
Willow's
break it up.
dead.
We know, don't worry. Hi,
Hey,
Boo.
Willow.
We have fun here.
Hey, go. I'll catch up.
I don't like that they're being separated right now. Here we go.
Your little school friend Anya said that you're the one that brought me here. Oh, oops. I kind of like the idea of the two of us. We have to snuggle? What do you say?
So this is called Selfcest, an actual thing that some people are into. Ew.
I can.
A trank gun? Does that work on a
Bitch.
vampire? It should. Okay, the trank gun I guess works. This is wild.
That's me as a vampire? I'm so evil and skanky. I think I'm kind of gay.
Willow, just remember, a vampire's personality has nothing to do with the person it was.
Actually,
It's a gay demon. Huh?
it's a good point.
So,
Okay.
I have a really bad idea.
I'm listening. Oh my god!
You go in and defuse the situation as best you can.
Okay.
At least try and get some of them to come out and even up the odds a bit.
I won't do anything that could be interpreted as rape.
God, this is a dumb plan. I kind of love it. How is this Willow gonna start acting commanding and shit? I suppose just don't say much.
I'm back.
Girl, fail step 1.
Did you find the girl?
Yep, I did.
Where is she?
I killed her. And sucked her blood, as we vampires do.
That's a joke. I make jokes.
I think maybe I heard something out there. Why don't you go check?
Did we not think this through? Like, not even one bit. She told you what she wanted to do.
Maybe I'll have my minions take you out back and kill you horribly. She's always letting people walk all over her and is cranky with her friends for no reason.
No, she's making commentary on herself.
Wait, he's been gone for a while. Why don't you go check on him?
They put her in the sweater.
Hello? Giles?
Oh my fucking god! But why is...
Hi.
Oh, so she's trying to flirt with Wesley? The way she's dressed and what she's saying?
I was looking at books. I like books. Because I'm shy.
Yeah, right. The famous shy girl act all the boys fall for. It occurs to me that we've never really had the opportunity to talk.
Oh, yes.
You know, woman to woman. What could we talk about? Hey, how about the ethics of boyfriend stealing?
Okay. That's gonna be like torture for her. It's gonna be great.
Maybe we should let everyone go and give them a 30-second head start.
Wait a minute.
No, I like my plan. Why don't we start with her?
Why don't we start with you? If she's a vampire, then I'm the creature from the Black Lagoon.
And, okay, it isn't even like I was that attracted.
She looks so miserable.
Always all sexy and stuff. Do I have something on my neck?
Not yet.
She looks so dead inside. Oh, god damn it. I was hoping that you would keep going. Is Cordelia gonna die again? Yeah, do we have fate somewhere? Or, no, this is when Wesley's gonna come in. And then they're gonna hook up or whatever, even though it's really weird. I don't know. I don't know what the show is doing anymore.
Leave this place!
I guess it was enough to scare her off.
Thank you.
Sir, this is a minor.
They got Willow.
Yeah?
So are you doing anything tonight?
This girl has a history of mental problems dating back to early childhood. I'm a blood-sucking fiend. Could a human do this?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Let's do that, yeah.
That's so fucking funny. Alright, here we go. Yeah! Oh god.
No more snuggles?
Hey, I can try out something a little gay. We can see if this works out. Please don't need me. Fun. That's not even a good choke. Okay.
This world's no fun.
Are we gonna send her back?
You notice that too?
I guess we're gonna send her back.
In your reality, I'm like this badass vampire, huh? People afraid of me?
Well, you're dead now, so I like that little bit of
Sure about
compassion.
releasing this thing into the wild, Will. It is a demon.
It's a different reality. Who gives a fuck?
When I get my powers back, you will all grovel before me.
Try not to kill people.
That's literally what she does.
Hands!
I'll be down to seeing Dark Willow show up again, like 2 seasons from now. Willow, but bisexual. So, did that happen? Did she show up just to get killed immediately again? Or? I guess so. Alright.
I see now where the path of vice leads.
The paper on Roosevelt. It turns out there were 2 President Roosevelts, so I didn't know exactly which one to do. So I did both. Oh, and here's the bibliography. And I can retype that if you want.
Kicked his ass so good, he decided to do homework. Here's an apple. And here's my wallet. Here are the keys to my car. Alright. That was fun. We had fun today. When I watched the Wish episode, I did not think that was gonna matter at all in the future, and I'm not sure how much it's gonna matter later, but at least for today it created an episode that was an after effect of the Wish episode, which I liked. I kind of wish that Cordelia would have been involved in it a little bit more, but Cordelia's contribution this episode was pretty funny, I'll give it that. So this episode was pretty fun. It was fine, but then it had like a very funny component sometimes, you know? Again, there's a couple scenes that come to mind, but the one that is immediately the funniest that jumps to mind is Cordelia locking Dark Willow behind the cage and being like, okay, let's talk about the boyfriend thing. And then it cuts away and then it cuts back to it and Dark Willow just looks dead inside. Like she's already dead, she's a vampire, she looks even deader. She looks so done. And Cordelia's just ranting and I'm just sitting here like, okay, that's pretty funny. I'm willing to forgive the entire whatever nonsense was happening with Willow and Xander earlier in the season, just because that scene was pretty funny. I think it was worth it. Okay, but I have a question though. Did Dark Willow die here? It is ambiguous, but it seems like she did. Because at the end, they all sit down and it's like, okay, we're gonna perform the ritual. And then you don't really see them do anything. The camera just fades to white. And then we're seeing the footage from the Wish. And Dark Willow just gets impaled and dies. I'm not sure if it's the same footage, but it looks like the same footage. I think she was just placed in the exact same place where she was at originally, and she just died again. I'm not gonna commit to saying that she's dead forever. I am going to say that it would be disappointing if that was the case, which is why I think that, like, okay, why would they add that scene in if it wasn't for them being like, okay, no, but she's dead though. But I think that is a waste. I do like Dark Willow. I do. It was a fun character to have this episode. Just the idea of Dark Willow is just a fun idea. I think it would be high potential for a future episode to just send her back to her own timeline. And then like 2 seasons from now, we interact with the Dark timeline again. And we interact with Dark Willow. And then we like help out Dark Willow because she's fighting the Dark Master, and the Dark Master is worse than Dark Willow. You know, like Dark Willow just kind of wants to have a gay orgy or something with a bunch of vampires, but the Master wants to end the world. So really, out of the 2 evils, the first one's pretty good, honestly. So maybe something like that. I feel like that is a good potential to have for the future. So that's why I'm surprised that at the end of the episode, they seemingly killed her off anyway. You know, things went all the way back to normal, but The thing is that after an episode where you get this character, it feels like you could have her again in the future, which is why I think that it would be a good idea to do so. Anyway, Dark Willow was pretty fun. It was fun seeing, God, what's the name of the actress? Allison Hannigan? Allison Hannigan. Yeah, okay, I got it right. It was fun to see her act out two completely separate, different characters, really. Sometimes in the same scene. And like, okay, this is like 1999, and it's also a TV show. You know, it has less budget than like a movie. So maybe it was like a little bit impressive to see this. I mean, it's not difficult to do. But maybe in 1999, it was a little bit impressive to see this in just network television, you know, something that doesn't have that big of a budget. I'm not sure how it was in 1999, but maybe it was impressive to see just the same person twice in the same scene. Because there was that scene where Willow ends up shooting Dark Willow with the harpoon gun. It's not a trunk gun. It wasn't a harpoon gun. Sorry, that's a completely different type of gun. It would have been a very different scene, but it was the tranquilizer gun, which I like that it was there, right? I don't know if it should have been loaded, but I suppose it's loaded in case of an emergency. But then again, why would it be an emergency? Because you know every time when the werewolf thing is gonna happen. We all know exactly the day it's gonna happen, so I don't know why it would be loaded before time. Well, guess what? It worked right now. This was a situation where it worked. This was the emergency. The Dark Willow vampire from a different timeline. I just really like the concept of different timelines. I'm pretty sure I've gone on record saying this. I grew up watching Back to the Future, all three of them, a lot. You know, I feel like everyone has that movie or show that they rewatch endlessly when they were a kid, and for me that was Back to the Future, the entire trilogy. So I think my favorite concept that I have in media, especially in sci-fi media, is time travel, which is why whenever we talk about Buffy and I'm trying to figure out like what's gonna happen or something, somehow I always try to like swerve into time travel. We haven't really hit time travel yet, but we have hit alternate timeline, which is pretty close, so I'll take that. And that's also why I really enjoyed the Wish episode. This episode brings that back, and it makes me very happy, because that was a very good episode. We had different timelines, we had different versions of the same characters, and now one of them came here. And I think that is fantastic. I really enjoy Dark Willow here. I also really enjoy Anya. I did not think we were ever gonna see that character again. I like the idea of, I've been alive for over 1,000 years, I'm a fucking god, and I destroy entire timelines, and we have seen that. Now I'm stuck acting like a weird, dumb teenager in California, and it's just like, well, sucks to be you. She goes and talks to like her superior or whatever. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. I'm not gonna get into that. It's just some mystical entity, man, and he's like, sucks to be you. I don't know, just, you're fucked up, just deal with it. She's like, man, I fail math, and it's like, god, that's so funny. This episode was really funny in a lot of different things. It was endearing, it was funny, it was just fun in general, you know? I like that scene where they all thought Willow was dead, and I like that they were as distraught as they were, Buffy and Xander and Giles, because like they saw Willow and they were like, oh, she looks weird. She said that she was gonna try to be like more, I don't know, more daring or something based on the comment that she made earlier. And then next time they see her, it's like, oh, she's a vampire. And the next time we see them, they're just like dead inside, and it's like, well, they think Willow is dead, because becoming a vampire in the show is a damning thing. It's, you're dead, you were replaced by a demon, there's no turning back. The only one who's an exception is Angel, and that's because Angel is a special thing. He was already a person after he was a demon, and then we brought him back, but that just kind of, we restore him to the way that he used to be, so like that makes more sense. But when it comes to Willow, it's like, well, we're fucked, we lost our best friend. And then she just shows up, and they're like, and they just can't process it, and they just start hugging her. And I like that Buffy hugged her and Xander hugged her, and they did like a 3-person hug, and then they stopped hugging her, and then Giles just jumped in and hugged her too, and then he was like, oh, sorry. It's like, oh, that was very cute, very endearing. And it makes sense, right? Because it makes sense that they would be as distraught as they were, even though we, the audience, we know that doesn't make any, like, we know that shouldn't be the case, but they don't know that, so I like seeing it. Cordelia is having a thing with Wesley. I don't know why. I just need to say it. I just need to point it out, and then we can move on with our lives. Another scene that I thought was incredibly funny was Willow pretending to be Dark Willow and failing miserably from the first second she's in character, because they opened the door for her and she's like, hi, and it's just like, oh my god, like she's lucky that every fucking character in the show is fucking stupid sometimes, you know? Like, she's lucky that every vampire, and even Anya to some level, Anya was smarter, but it still took her a while to figure out that that wasn't really Dark Willow, but Willow. But it was an incredibly funny performance. God, what was the one thing that kind of killed me? She's just walking and talking, and then she looks at Oz for a little bit, and she's like, and then she goes back to this, and it's just like, oh my god. Like, I love that they didn't rehearse that at all, because she walks in and they go like, do you get the other Willow? And she's like, oh no, I killed her. And it's like, what? And it's like, Willow, you know what the plan was. Dark Willow told you what she wanted to do. Like, using that information, you can think, okay, I know what they want to do, so now I can like cook up some kind of lie that is somewhat credible. Just something like, oh yeah, I got her and I hid her or locked her away in this location, and it's like, okay, but I was thinking maybe we should do this or we should do that, and then it's like, okay, we maybe start taking them out one by one by like exiting one by one. You need to keep the lie going in order to do that. You need to convince them of something, and she immediately walks in and she blows her cover immediately. And the only reason why that wasn't a damning thing was because everyone's fucking stupid. Speaking about everyone being fucking stupid, I had a moment during the episode where I thought that I'm happy that Oz isn't being fucking stupid. You know, and that's a good thing. I like seeing that, but that didn't really matter at the end of the day, but I would have liked it if it mattered. There was a moment where Dark Willow shows up and Angel's there and Oz is there. Oz doesn't really do anything like incredibly reckless, or he doesn't start like assuming anything. Like, Willow walks in the middle of the room and he doesn't go like, oh Willow, what are you doing? Or like, oh hey Willow. He doesn't say anything. He's able to immediately like connect like, oh shit, something's going on with her. We need help. Angel, go get help, right? Like, he's immediately able to be like, okay, something's wacky's going on. Because like, if that was like a dumber character, Xander, he would have been like, oh hey Willow, what's up? What's going on with all these vampires? And then he would have been killed immediately. And it's like, I'm glad that Oz is Oz. I really am. So yeah, I don't know how the episode ended, honestly. Like, I don't know where Anya is. Maybe she went back to the dark timeline. I mean, that's what she wanted, right? I don't know if she accomplished that, but let's say that maybe she did. I guess Dark Willow went back to the dark timeline as well. And, you know, maybe we're never going to see her again because maybe she seemingly died again. But if Anyanka went back to the dark timeline, and maybe she can get her pendant back, maybe she can start granting wishes again. And if that's the case, then she can start just doing some fucky shit, and maybe we can come across her again. But like, I feel like this is gonna come back at some point, you know, like the dark timeline is gonna come back at some point in the show again. Maybe not immediately, maybe not in a season, but it eventually is going to. If we kill Dark Willow, then the connection has to be Anya coming back and being like, hey yo, I got powers and I want revenge for what you did to me, even though none of you really did anything because I fucked your timeline up, you know? But yeah, I like the predicament Anyanka was in. I would have liked if she just kept it being just a random teenager and she just has to deal with that, you know? That would have been a funny, like, neighboring character to have in the community. I like that. Like, something I just want to see in Buffy more. I'm pretty sure I said this before, but I want to see more characters from episodic episodes just stick around. But that's because we're creating like a community of weirdos. I want to create a wacky ass community of the most random ass characters that we can grab from any singular episode story. Amy the Witch, that's one of them. That's a fun one. Anya the used to be a magical genie god, and now she's stuck just being a teenager and hates every second of it. That's also a fun one. I like that one, honestly. It would have been great if we had kept one of the zombies from the Zappo episode and we just have a friendly neighborhood zombie. That would have been fun as well. So yeah, those are all things that I wish they could continue to happen, and maybe they will. Who knows? I'm guessing that if there is something that will come back from this episode, it will be Anya with the Dark Timeline once again. And maybe that's how we get the Master again, back in. There you go. The Dark Timeline invades the real timeline, and the Master and his dark forces come in. You know, Anya will give the Master a wish, and the Master's wish is to, well, he already conquered this universe, so he's gonna conquer another universe, you know? And he goes around just conquering different timelines and shit. And that's something that Anya could grant as a wish. Given Anya doesn't really grant wishes to men, that was her whole thing. But the Master could take estrogen, and there you go. That solves the problem. Trans rights. What else is there to talk about in this episode? Earlier, there was like one scene with Faith. Like, well, two scenes with Faith. She comes in and talks to Buffy, and Buffy's like, okay, I'm gonna go training. And then she talks to Willow, and then Faith has a scene with the mayor, and then we don't see Faith ever again. I wonder if this was like filmed before the halfway point in the season, you know, in 98 instead of 99. Because like Faith wasn't in this episode at all, so it almost feels like, okay, the actress couldn't be there still. Maybe all the very Faith heavy stuff that we saw like last episode was filmed months after this was filmed, and this was filmed like very early on in the production. That could be the case. You never really know how filming really goes with production, so yeah, that's just a suspicion I have. Okay, what do you have to say about Faith today? There is one scene where she is seemingly feeding the Master, the mayor, information about what Willow is doing. We don't hear her say that, but she seems to be saying that, implying by the way the episode is edited. However, I don't trust jack shit about the way episodes are directed, because what I'm thinking about is that there is a scene where she's looking at what Willow is doing, and it's like, what are you doing? Willow is like, well, I'm trying to hack into the Major's files. And then Faith is like, oh, cool. And then it cuts away to Faith having told the mayor something, and the mayor is like, oh, interesting, okay. And then that's it. It seems like she sold them out. We don't know for sure that she sold them out. That seems to be what the show is implying, but the show lies to you. The other thing that happened after that is that the mayor just told her, okay, we're gonna get and kill ourselves a Slayer. And Faith seemed to really not like that idea. She was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. And she didn't say that. And then the mayor was like, oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna like send you to do something like that like right away. We need to like work up to it, right? So yeah, don't worry, you're gonna chill for a little bit. I gave you a PlayStation. And Faith was like, oh, sick. When did Metal Gear Solid came out? I think Metal Gear Solid came out. So apparently season 3 premiered in September 98. So, okay. Metal Gear Solid came out in North America in October 98. And I'm pretty sure that this is taking place at the beginning of 99, which means that Metal Gear Solid is not only out, but also very, very recent. And if you got a PlayStation, it is incredibly likely for you to get a copy of Metal Gear Solid right now, because that is what people are playing. Now, the question becomes, would Faith play Metal Gear Solid? Okay. Metal Gear Solid is an action game, and it looks very realistic, and it looks very, well, realistic, quote unquote. It is trying to be as grounded in reality as it can be, considering how batshit it is. It looks like American action movies. Maybe Faith is into that. However, I feel like the controls would be too unintuitive for Faith to grasp her mind around, and she would be like, this game sucks, I hate it, and she would just toss it because it would be too hard to play stealth. She wouldn't play stealth. She would just go guns blazing and kill everybody. She maybe would get into Metal Gear Solid if she grasps the controls of just shoot everyone. Maybe. I don't think she would have a heavy appreciation for the story though. So ultimately, I feel like she wouldn't be a big into Metal Gear Solid. I feel like Metal Gear Solid would be for someone else. I feel like maybe Willow could appreciate Metal Gear Solid more than anyone else in the gang. I feel like Metal Gear Solid requires for you to follow this story. It's fucking bad shit, but you have to. That's kind of the point. maybe like Buffy could be someone that sits next to you and watches you play it. If you're really into it, she could get into it by making jokes and shit and bounce off of you, but she wouldn't necessarily play it herself. Xander would play Metal Gear Solid, but he would not follow anything about what's going on. He would just shoot everybody. And he would be like, man, this video game is fun. And that would just be the end of the thought. Oz would like Metal Gear Solid. I believe Oz would. Oz is a Metal Gear Solid enjoyer. What else came out in around this time? So here's the thing about me is that I actually didn't have a PlayStation 1. My family was quite poor when I was growing up. Like, I mostly just didn't have consoles. I just played things on PC and I played Half-Life. Like, if you put me behind any Gold Source game, I'm chilling. Buffy 3D, oh hell yeah. Final Fantasy Tactics. Wait, is Final Fantasy 7 out by now? When did Final Fantasy 7 come out? That's a big one. That's a big title. 1997. Oh yeah, this is out. This came out like a year earlier. I mean, theoretically, someone could be playing Final Fantasy 7. I don't know if Faith would be into an RPG like Final Fantasy 7 though. So I don't know about that. Guilty Gear came out in November 12, 1998. Faith could be playing Guilty Gear right now. She would be into Guilty Gear. She would be playing the fuck out of Guilty Gear. I mean, she would be playing Mortal Kombat more than anything, but okay, what would be Faith's Guilty Gear main? I want to say Baiken, but I'm biased. What is the roster of the first original Guilty Gear? I also think you need to unlock Baiken first, though. I think she's a secret boss, so. Soul Bad Guy, Chip, Axel, Milia, Mai, Cliff, Kai, Sato, and Dr. Ballhead. Did I say Potemkin too? She would be playing Soul Bad Guy. She would be playing Soul Bad Guy and Baiken if you can unlock Baiken. Maybe Testament. Testament would be a good one, but let's go with Soul Bad Guy and she doesn't know how to unlock anyone else. Yeah, that's what Faith is playing right now. She's playing Guilty Gear 1. You like that whole segment about video games? Was that fun for you? I don't know what else to say about this episode. It was a very fun episode. It connects to other shit that we have already seen. I suppose to continue on the Faith track of like, how do I feel about her? I still have the same read as I did last week. I don't know. She could be tricking the mayor. She could be betraying everybody. I literally don't know. My instinct is that she's genuinely good and that she's trying to help the gang or she's going to help the gang at the last second. I don't see her as a completely evil, bad character person here. I suppose that's something I could talk about is that I talk a lot about how sometimes I give characters passes, how like I forgive them for stuff and I don't have much tolerance for others. You know, so for example, I'll see Cordelia do some shit and I'm like, well, I give Cordelia a pass. But then when I look at Xander, I'm like, okay, shut the fuck up. The same kind of goes for Faith. The thing is that I feel like other people have a harder time separating the way they feel from the fact that this is just a fictional world and these are fictional characters and this is just a story. I feel like for me it's way easier to just separate myself from that. So I don't really hold grudges. I don't really look at a character and I'm like, oh my god, how dare they, I hate them. So when I see Faye doing all of this shit, I'm like, okay, I also have a spectator view and I can see that she's troubled. I can see that she's dealing with a lot. And like, even like during the recap, right? The recap for this very episode felt very biased. It felt like they're trying to lead me in a direction. Let me just play the recap again. Faye, don't kill him. You killed a man. I don't care. She's taken alive. She's got a taste for it now. She punches someone and then she goes to a mayor and says like, I guess that means you have a Joe opening. And it's like, that's all they show you. And it's like, well, if you show those scenes only, she's an evil, bad guy, terrible person. But if you actually watch the episode, you can see that there's a lot of nuance behind all of those scenes. So like, no, I think that if anything, seeing that intro makes me feel like that's the show trying to like lead me into the direction of like, oh my god, look at this awful fucking person. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, now I want to go the opposite way because I don't trust you. I feel like you're actively trying to like sabotage my feelings. You're trying to manipulate the way I feel. So now I'm going to go the opposite direction. I'm going to say she's good. That's where I'm at right now. I could change my opinion, you know, like I'm not committing to anything. I feel like there's a lot of things they could do with her, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. Anyway, that's enough Faith talk for today. We had a lot of Faith talk already last week. If you want to hear me talk about Faith, you can go back to previous video. I'm gonna miss Dark Willow. Hopefully we'll see her again. This episode had some very fun scenes. I really liked a lot of them. There was some really fun character interactions. At the end of the episode, you see the jock guy. I don't know his fucking name. The jock guy. Snyder referenced Go Fish in this episode. Everyone's favorite episode, Go Fish. But yeah, there was the jock guy, and he was like, hey, I'm not gonna do any work. You're gonna do it for me. And then Dark Willow like pushed him into like the fucking table or whatever with one hand. And then he was like, oh fuck, Rosenberg, you're so fucking strong. I'm afraid of you. I'm gonna do the entire work. Here's my wallet. So that was fun. Yeah, because the thing about the episode thematically is Willow feeling like everyone walks over her, and then she's like, I'm tired. I'm gonna go ape shit. I'm gonna say heck. And then something like that actually happens, and Dark Willow shows up, like almost like a manifestation of the thematic idea of the episode. And then Willow is like, oh man, I don't want to be bad. But at the end of the episode, it kind of works out okay, because Dark Willow did do one cool thing, which was make that one guy afraid of regular Willow. Anyway, I hope no one pins down that murder of that one girl on normal Willow. Everyone saw it happen in public in the club. Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe she's not dead, you know, but at the very least she would be charged with some kind of assault. Anyway, we're not going to worry about that. Let's just move on. I think that's going to be it for this episode. Something like a last thing I probably want to say is that we don't have a lot of episodes left. This is 16. I think we have 22. So we have 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We have like 6 episodes. I don't think we're going to get a lot of like Villain of the Week episodes. Like, we're not gonna get that. I feel like we're too close to the end game, and there's a lot of like spinning plates right now. So I feel like we're gonna dedicate, because like out of those 6 episodes, 2 are for sure the finale. 2 are very plot important. So that leaves us with 4. I feel like we could have like one more episode of like whatever, and then the other 3 are probably gonna be plot episodes. Something about Faith, something about Angel, something about Buffy, something about Spike. You could come back. Something about Cordelia with fucking Wesley, or what's his face? Yeah, I feel like we're about to just go into overdrive. Like, things are just about to get nuts. This is probably going to be the final or one of the last slower episodes that we're going to get this season, and that's not a bad thing, right? I had fun with this episode, and I feel like I have to brace myself, because sometimes I feel like I get a lot of plot, and at that point I'm like, okay, I need something to cool me down a little bit, right? I need something fun. And sometimes it feels like we're going too frantic, and sometimes we get the opposite. Sometimes it feels like we have been doing nothing for like 10 weeks, and then suddenly we get something really heavy, and I'm like, oh fuck, here we go, here's the plot. I feel like so far season 3 has had a good balance between them. It has had a good pacing, and this is probably going to be one of the last episodes this season where I just get to chill. So this was really fun. We should bring Amy back. We need to fix the whole rat thing with Amy. So when are we going to do that? Poor Amy, man. I was expecting she would show up this episode because it was going to be a Willow episode, and we didn't. Come on. That's going to be it for this reaction episode to Buffy. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next week. And alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this reaction episode to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If you'd like to watch the next 2 episode reactions, you can already do so over at the Patreon. Support the channel, follow my social media, Twitch stream, all sorts of cool stuff that I do, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care everybody. Bye bye.